Two men with thought-provoking intellect, arousing discussion with a hint of humor. He says this, I say that, with a host that...
Bruh, it's a podcast.
Hi, I would like to welcome you all to the third episode of Bruh, It's a Podcast. I'm your host, Courtney. We got our two co-stars with us today, Q and E. How are you guys both doing?
Yo, what up?
Co-stars? Top billing, though.
I tried to switch
Doing
it
good.
up. Yeah, I tried to do something a little different for you guys.
I'm not a co-star, bro. I'm a superstar.
That's a big transition from last week where you weren't a star at all.
People grow up, bro.
Bruh.
All right, so we're going to start with our first question of the day. So the top question is, the women would like to know, what are the top 3 qualities when trying to attract a man's attention?
That's a tough question. Every man's different.
No, they're not.
I'm different from you. I'm different.
Yeah, man. I'm my own man.
Yeah. I would say confidence. Confidence is very much so important.
That's the first thing you say?
Yeah. That's what attracts me to you. What's
That's what an unattractive guy says. I like confidence.
I mean, thankfully we're not on TV. What to you, what's the most attractive? What's the first thing that you see?
Oh my God. If they're fine or not. Like a normal person.
What is fine?
What are you
What
doing?
is fine?
This guy trying, you see, he's the only guy to get on the show and try to get some sympathy booty. You see that, Court? Confidence. Like if me and him are coming out the club, he's going to say, hey, that girl with the heels, she really looks confident. I think I'm going to go over there.
Okay. If you want to rag on me.
Do you believe this guy,
If you want to rag on me, that's fine. If you want to rag on me, that's fine. What is the first thing that you see on a woman? Because I have been the man who has looked at a fine derriere and find out she was a butterface. Everything looks good but her face. So let me know, what is the first thing that you find attractive?
It could be a bevy of things. We're visual creatures. So it's going to be something that attracts you physically, that you see with your eyes. That's the first thing you're going to
You can't
notice.
see confidence?
So you're not going to know their confidence.
You can't see confidence?
Are you kidding?
Maybe this is the obvious part. Maybe the women are not necessarily talking about like being attractive. Like, what's the next level down, we'll say?
I want to know, can you not see confidence?
No, you can.
Exactly.
You can.
So I don't understand how that's so hard. You could tell.
But that's not the first. That's not the first
can-
thing I think Q's talking about.
It's not. It's not the first thing, but it's the first thing the hero over here said, trying to get sympathy.
Yo.
No, it's not the first thing
You know
said.
what? I'm going to just be quiet.
Well, one thing that I will say is like real underrated, which you don't see this from the beginning, but like somebody who's just like cool. Like I know that's like a relaxed word.
You can't say those things. It's not a physical thing. Don't say she's cool.
No.
It's not the
It's not a physical thing. What's a first thing that you see?
The first thing.
Because Q's over here saying
It's
it
not
has
the
to be something
first
that
thing.
you see physically, like heels, for example.
No, because people are listening. No, because people are listening to you right now, and they're saying, "I'll bet he dated a lot of women with really good hearts," because that's what you sound like.
I've dated good ones. I dated bad ones. It's okay.
We all,
It's okay.
we all have. I'm just,
And to be fair,
we all have. I'm just messing with you because it was the first thing you said.
To be fair, I've dated girls with good heels and bad heels, but that's a story for another day. I need to know, what's the first attribute that you see. Maybe I'm an experienced gentleman, so I surpass the other things.
So me and Q are low bottomly gentlemen.
No, I just said experience.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm just calling you guys whores. But continue. What is it that what do you guys see?
We were just starting off. Hey. We were starting off honest. That the first thing.
No.
Yes.
Would be
don't say
that's
we.
That's just what.
Don't say we, because you said you said some girl. What was it? What was yours?
I said being cool.
Yeah, being
like
cool.
Someone that you can talk to and like have a conversation with.
But he didn't say that.
That was his first. What was his first response?
No, the first thing he did was agree with me when I said we're visually.
So tell me what you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was talking about the secondary stuff.
That's perfectly fine. So tell me what you like to see when you visualize. Cute.
It's got to be a nice shape and attractive. Something's gonna attract me. If it's not shape, it's smile, it's shape.
So you said shape 7 times. So
Nice
clearly it's shape.
hair or shape.
shape.
Or
Clearly it's shape. Okay. So
well, and then after that, the other things.
Okay, so ladies, get your body right. That's Q's answer. Get your body right.
Yeah, I'm not that bad, but 10 squats a day can really do some things. But that's neither here nor there. I just see how you're trying to make me like I'm the monster.
I'm the cornball. You're the beast. That's what we do. That's what we're doing here.
I do want to point out something that Court said though. He said somebody that's cool, that can sometimes come back to bite you too. Because as great as it is to have the woman that's into sports and the woman that, is into the fantasy football and watches the games, now that needed time apart is not there because she's into all the things that you're into. So that time that you go to your boys and chill and watch sports, you're not getting that now. So it's a double-edged sword.
I feel like I'm going to try to come from the female perspective in obviously a way that I can't. That was offensive.
Continue.
But I feel like if they were listening to this, that they would ask, like, but isn't that what you would want someone to do that with? Like, what's the whole point if you find somebody and then you get sick of them?
No, it is. It is. And that's what you want. You want somebody that's into some of the things that you're into, but they also have to have a life outside of that.
Okay, so like their own friends and stuff like that.
They also have to have their friends and their people, because if they don't, they're going to get on your nerves. And
I got you. For all the ladies out there, I got some advice for you. Hit the romantic music. Ladies, you want to make your man happy? You want him to feel like you're the one? Here's what you do. You say the most romantic thing you can ever say to a man. Hey, babe, why don't you hang out with your boys tonight? Bam.
Wow.
He will love you forever.
Wow.
So the most romantic thing she could say to her man, send him away from her?
Did I stutter?
No, you didn't. You said that actually quite clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was E. I want to make sure y'all know that was E that said that, ladies and gentlemen.
Now we're good with him separating himself from
okay.
Yeah.
That's something a confident woman would do.
That's out of control.
There you go.
So we got
all full circle, people. Full circle.
No.
So we got looks.
You don't want too confident.
But being able to talk to, hang out, have those same skills. Like, what's the last one?
That falls to the confidence.
No, there's some confident women that live with their mama and only got one pair of shoes.
So what's independent?
So let's
what's
not mix it up.
Independent falls more than it includes more than just monetary or finances.
Independent is also a mindset. They don't just have their own things, but they live life independently by themselves. The things that they do are to put themselves in the best possible position.
Okay.
And some people don't have that mindset. Some people are good. I knew a woman,
ex-girlfriend.
I'm not going to say her name, Rachel, and she had a 450 credit score. And proceeded in front of me.
One second. For those of us that don't know, 450 is not a good credit score. Just want to give you guys some insight into the finances of today. Continue.
Right. She proceeded to go through her pocketbook amongst 30 different credit cards take one out and said, I think I have enough room to get this pocketbook that was $1,500 and actually charged it with no hesitation. And then when we got outside the mall, she said, I'm a little short on cash and I need some gas. See,
but is that independence?
But she was.
I think that's
no. But in her mind, she is independent because when I talked to her, she said, "Well, I just bought
but I
my
couldn't
own
take
bag."
it home because I ain't got no
See?
gas.
So it depends. But I don't have no gas. So it's a mindset, man. You got to be careful.
So, independence and responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that what we're settling
Very
on? So we're setting on confidence, independence, and what was the other one?
Being cool or being
cool.
Able to be, being cool.
So
like hang
just
out.
To be clear, none of these traits are first thing that you see. Point for E again. Continue.
The first one I said was what you see, and you're only going to use it once. If you don't get past one, if I don't do a double take,
so you're telling me, Q,
good.
never in your long life of the wealth of intelligence that you've never developed feelings for a young lady? It was all instantaneous attraction.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no. There's times you go into an arena you don't intend to play ball in and end up having a good game, but it's not something you set out to do. But sometimes your sneakers are in the car and you go past the court and people playing. I'm like, it's the same thing.
Oh shoot.
That's how that's just
That's
how
probably
it goes.
the first time I've heard a basketball analogy in regards to dating.
Try to educate you.
Well executed, my brother. Well executed.
Oh, I've got
well executed.
Q has
tons of
Q
those.
has a lot of those. Speaking of Q's knowledge, E, I want to ask, did you do your homework?
No. The reason I didn't do my homework was because I didn't know I was registering for school. So whenever I say homework, that means that Q uses an out-of-date reference that forces us as the audience to go and Google it to understand his perspective. So whenever you hear me say homework, you know what that means. But that's a reference to last week.
So that's what we're doing.
That's a reference to last week about the tigers and bears munching up the actors and actresses. Right? Yeah.
That was wild. I actually should have looked that up.
You know what? I'm gonna hook you up.
Appreciate it, bro. And then we'll put it on like the Twitter account so people can catch up. We're
gonna put it on our socials. We're gonna give that to the people.
So they don't. So whenever you use a reference that is over 30 years old, homework.
Over 30 years old. Well, speaking of something that's actually quite old, is this new documentary that came out that's over 23 years old, if you guys know what I mean. The MJ documentary was just released, and it's something that's been in the news, and they've been kind of putting it out there for us to kind of tease for the last, I don't know, like 6 months or whatever. Did you guys get a chance to look at it? What were your thoughts, first reactions?
I did look at it. I'm sure it was eye-opening to some people. I remember all the stuff pretty well, but just to be reminded of how terrible Scottie Pippen was treated in Chicago, I'm sure that was eye-opening to some people that didn't know. And people are learning some things that a lot of us knew, that Michael Jordan wasn't a very nice guy. But often the best winners aren't nice guys.
Ooh.
That's why LeBron loses.
Wow. Is that where we're headed? So I'm going to just ignore this.
That's what
I'm going to ignore that statement and let's talk about Mike. Give Mike his moment. First off, it's refreshing for people to see how athletic Michael Jordan was. Some people think he wasn't that athletic, or maybe he was an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. That brother was a 10. That brother was a 10. You look at the footage, he's faster than everybody, he jumps higher, and he's in the air longer than everybody. So people seem to forget about that. Okay.
He wasn't faster.
So he wasn't faster than everybody, but he's faster than most people. So, so about the Scottie Pippen situation, that definitely resonated with me, and it also gives credit to the people nowadays, or the athletes nowadays, who take more control of their careers. That being said, Scottie did mess up. He signed a 7-year deal for that length of time, and it's really bad if the person you're signing a deal with, which was the owner, tells him don't sign this deal. Now, I get the idea that he had people he had to take care of, and I get that. Or I heard he had a back injury, so he was thinking about long term if he was going to make it and so forth. I get it, but at the end of the day, you sign that dotted line. It is what it is. But
I don't agree with that. I think that I understand you have to commit to it, but one of the things that they said in the documentary was once he signed it, things started to boom, right? The league started to make more money, more revenue started to come in. So if I sign something beforehand and you're getting more money, and they were saying how unbalanced it was, like he was like one of the top players and getting paid like 120th.
22nd.
In any other business, 122nd. In any other business, when the owners or the people that have control or that have the most equity inside a company, once it grows and it gets bigger, you get higher salary. You renegotiate contract.
Okay.
You get to ask for more. So it's just a little bit different that the NBA players just has to, stick with it.
It really isn't that different, because I don't ever recall in the NBA where a contract was restructured. What happens is your contract expires, and because of the cap room evolves, then you can sign a new contract because the salary cap rises. But there was never ever a time where a contract got restructured. What happens is you got lucky. You know what I mean? You ended when the cap room boosted. So therefore you can sign a longer contract with a new bargaining agreement. But there was never a time where they restructured a contract. It was his fault for signing a 7-year deal.
Yeah, but he used the loophole, right? All right, cool. I got to get this surgery. I'm about to enjoy my summer. I'm about to go to Malibu. I'm chilling. When the season comes back, I'm going to get this surgery, and y'all going to wait for me.
Shaq did that in 2002 or 2003, one of those years. I don't have a problem with how he acted in regards to his contract. But what I'm saying is you can't necessarily be mad at the businessmen for holding up the end of the bargain. But are we going to talk about how Jordan and Scottie were jerks? Are we going to talk
how they were killing the little fat man?
How they talk about Jerry Krause? Like, we're not going to talk about how that was over the line? We're not going to talk about that?
Yo, the diet pills and the fat jokes.
This is your boss.
Somebody, I saw a post.
This is your boss.
This is your boss that's underpaying you. He's paying Ron Harper more money than you. Ron Harper's at the end of his career. You're one of the best players in the league. They won't talk to you about it. They want you to keep going out there and performing at an elite level. Each year, you're getting a year older. He knows it, and he makes public comments like
that was crazy. Yeah, that was kind of Michael Jordan's on your team. Michael Jordan wins you championships.
Let's finish the quote.
He deserved everything he got.
What he said was, players don't win championships alone. It is franchise that win championships. That's what he said.
Don't say the quote.
I'm defending him, but I'm saying this. Can you imagine today's world if an athlete is berating and cursing out the GM in this day and age?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
No.
Now,
social media picking up.
Now, I have no problem with Scottie. I'm going to be real. I have no problem with Scottie being frustrated. I have no problem with Scottie cussing him out in an office. It's them too. It's whatever. But when you make it public, it's a whole nother thing. Because now you challenging my manhood. And we fighting after that. Now, granted, you would have lost. You would have lost. If I'm Jerry Krause, he would have lost the fight. But there comes a time where you're right. It's no longer manager and employee. It's a man-to-man.
No, it's true. One thing I will say I was surprised about in the documentary is I knew obviously we all know Michael Jordan's like the greatest basketball player of all time. It was just crazy that how after every camp or activity he did, like everybody was like, oh, that's the greatest player I've ever seen. Oh, that's the greatest player I've ever seen. Like when he was like a 19-year-old kid, a 20-year-old kid after the Olympics, he's the best player I've ever seen. It's like, this is not like, you know how they say hindsight is 20/20? Like they had the foresight every step of the way. So I was surprised at that. I can't lie.
So we're just going on record that Michael Jordan's the greatest player we ever seen.
He was.
That's what we're just going on record saying here.
Cool. I don't know if we have time on this podcast.
I'm just saying. Is that what we're saying? Because I need to know. I need to know if I need to just.
I say yes, but LeBron is a close two.
Interesting. Obviously, he doesn't agree with you. All right.
But we forget about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar all the time, and his points total has survived MJ, AI, Karl Malone, possibly LeBron James, who didn't play in college, and it's amazing. And he doesn't get any credit because he had a poor relationship with the media, but his numbers still stand, including that points total, and a lot of very good players.
Who do you think had the best relationship with the media as an athlete? Because I don't think anybody gets adored more than Jordan.
Yeah, it's true.
To the point where he was able to blacklist media members. Talk about flexing your weight.
He sure was.
And so
that's the only thing I don't like about this documentary is that it's not going to show you that stuff that you're talking about, E. Like it's only going to show you the good.
Well, he's in control of it. That's all you need to say.
It's not.
Yeah. He had to literally okay everything. Another time where he's dominating the media. Nah, I mean, you flex your power, but if he is somebody who can dominate the media and have you blacklisted, chances are you're not going to write real stories. You might want to embellish them. Just say it.
So Q, do you believe that Michael Jordan would be held in as such a high regard if the media didn't like him? Like to answer like E's question? No. So we wouldn't consider him the greatest then?
No. Because
interesting.
No, because if you go on numbers and body of work, then it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But if you go on the eye test and what the media
just to be clear, if you're not old enough to have watched every game, or if you were 6 when Jordan watched his last championship, you're going off what the media tells you because you're reading their articles, watching clips of whatever they say. So it is what it is.
Think about this, Court. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won MVPs in 3
That is crazy.
decades.
That is crazy.
And I think didn't Duncan win in like 3 different decades? Yeah, he won a championship in 3 different decades.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he won in 3 different decades too.
Oh, wow.
It's some stats like that.
I didn't realize that.
But it's crazy. But yeah, I'm definitely staying tuned, and I encourage everybody to watch because when all this is over, this 10-hour segment, then we'll have the debate of Bron versus Jordan.
I would love to have that debate after this documentary is done. This biased, one-sided documentary.
And then in 20 years, if we're still podcasting, we'll do when Bron has his documentary.
That's a fact. All right, well, this was an awesome episode. Don't just check out the Michael Jordan documentary. Come back and check us out next week. We'll be back next Thursday. Subscribe, review, hit us on all the socials. If you'd like to leave us a question, you can go to our home website at anchor.fm/BIAP and press messages, and you can leave us a question that we could play possibly on the next episode.
Yo, Court, man. Hit him with the tunes.
Bruh, 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 bruh. It's a podcast.